Hello students, welcome to the lecture on Herzberg's theory. The motivation hygiene theory was proposed by psychologist Friedrich Herzberg. Herzberg investigated the question, what do people want from their jobs, in an effort to determine what might lead to a person's success or failure at work. He found that intrinsic factors such as achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, advancement and growth seem to be related to job satisfaction. Herzberg also found that there were characteristics that led to job dissatisfaction. The factors that caused dissatisfaction were extrinsic, such as company policy and administration, supervision, interpersonal relations and working conditions. Herzberg's research led him to conclude that the opposite of satisfaction is not dissatisfaction as was traditionally believed. Removing dissatisfying characteristics from a job does not necessarily make the job satisfying. Herzberg proposes a dual continuum. The opposite of satisfaction is no satisfaction and the opposite of dissatisfaction is no dissatisfaction. Herzberg explained that the factors leading to job satisfaction were motivators that are separate and distinct from the hygiene factors that lead to job dissatisfaction. Thus, managers who try to get rid of factors that create job dissatisfaction can create more pleasant workplaces, but not necessarily more motivated ones. Hygiene factors include company policy and administration, supervision, interpersonal relations, working conditions and salary. When these factors are adequate, people will not be dissatisfied, however, neither will they be satisfied. Motivating factors include achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility and growth. These are the characteristics that people find intrinsically rewarding or motivating. Herzberg's theory has received some criticism. However, it has been widely read and few managers are unfamiliar with his recommendations. Over the past 40 years, the popularity of jobs that allow employees greater responsibility in planning and controlling their work can probably be attributed largely to Herzberg's findings and recommendations. Herzberg's theory is also known as two-factor theory of motivation. It is derived from a study designed to test the concept that people have two sets of needs. First, their needs as animals to avoid pain, and second, their needs as humans to grow psychologically. Now, let us see what is Herzberg's study. Herzberg's study consisted of a series of interviews that sought to elicit responses to the questions: recall a time when you felt exceptionally good about your job. Why did you feel that way about the job? Did this feeling affect your job performance in any way? Did this feeling have an impact on your personal relationships or your well-being? Second question, recall a time on the job that resulted in negative feelings. Describes the sequence of events that resulted in these negative feelings. Research results say that it appeared from the research that the things making people happy on the job and those making them unhappy had two separate themes. From the results, Herzberg concluded that the replies people gave when they felt good about their jobs were significantly different from the replies given when they felt bad. Certain characteristics tend to be consistently related to job satisfaction and others to job dissatisfaction. Intrinsic factors such as work itself, responsibility and achievement seem to be related to job satisfaction. Respondents who felt good about their work tended to attribute these factors to them. On the other, dissatisfied respondents tended to cite extrinsic factors such as supervision, pay, company policies and working condition. Herzberg proposed that his findings indicated the existence of a dual continuum. The opposite of satisfaction is no satisfaction and opposite of dissatisfaction is no dissatisfaction, as said earlier. According to Herzberg, the factors leading to job satisfaction are separate and distinct from those that lead to job dissatisfaction. Therefore, managers who seek to eliminate factors that can create job dissatisfaction may bring about peace, but not necessarily motivation. They will be placating their workforce rather than motivating them. As a result, conditions surrounding the job such as quality of supervision, pay, company policies, physical working conditions, relations with others and job security were characterized by Herzberg as hygiene factors. When they are adequate, people will not be dissatisfied, neither will they be satisfied. If we want to motivate people on their jobs, Herzberg suggested emphasizing factors associated with work itself or to outcomes directly derived from it, such as promotional opportunities, opportunities for personal growth, recognition, responsibility and achievement. These are the characteristics that people find intrinsically rewarding. As a two-factor theory of motivation, Herzberg suggests that there are two sets of factors which either lead to job satisfaction or dissatisfaction. They are motivating factors and hygiene factors. Herzberg collected data from 200 accountants and engineers asking a simple question such as, can you describe in detail when you feel exceptionally good about your job? Similarly, can you describe in detail when you feel exceptionally bad about your job? Good feelings about the job were reflected in comments concerning the content and experiences of the job. For example, doing good work or a feeling of accomplishment and challenge. Bad feelings about the job were associated with context factors, that is, those surrounding but not direct involving in the work itself, for example, salary and working condition. This study revealed two distinct type of motivational factors, satisfiers and dissatisfiers. Herzberg's study resulted in two specific conclusions. Number one, there is a set of extrinsic job conditions that, when not present, result in dissatisfaction among employees. If these conditions are present, this does not necessarily motivate employees. These conditions are the dissatisfiers or hygiene factors because they are needed to maintain at least a level of no dissatisfaction. These factors are related to the context of the job and are called dissatisfiers. These include job security, salary, working condition, status, company policies, supervision, interpersonal supervision, fringe benefits, bonus, etc. Second, a set of intrinsic job conditions exist that help to build levels of motivation which can result in good job performance. If these conditions are not present, they do not result in dissatisfaction. These set of aspects are related to the content of job and are called satisfiers. These include achievement, recognition, work itself, responsibility, advancement, personal growth and development. Now, let us see motivating factors. The presence of motivating factors always ensures job satisfaction and happiness among the employees. Achievement, recognition, responsibility, advancement, growth and the work itself. These motivating factors are relating to work content factors, and hygiene factors on the other hand lead to dissatisfaction is the hygiene factors such as salary, company policy, supervision, status, security and working conditions. These hygiene factors are relating to work contextual factors. Herzberg argued that improvement in the hygiene factors would only minimize dissatisfaction, but not increase satisfaction and motivation. Now, let us see what are the implications for managers. In order to motivate employees, the managers must ensure to provide the hygiene factors and then follow the motivating factors. Herzberg's motivation hygiene theory proposes that intrinsic factors are related to job satisfaction and motivation, whereas extrinsic factors are associated with job dissatisfaction. According to Herzberg, the factors that led to job satisfaction were separate and totally distinct from those that led to job dissatisfaction. Therefore, managers who sought to eliminate factors that created job dissatisfaction could bring about workplace harmony, but not necessarily motivation. Because they do not motivate employees, the extrinsic factors that create job dissatisfaction were called hygiene factors. When these factors are adequate, people will not be dissatisfied, but at the same time they may not be fully satisfied, they will be in neutral state. If we want to motivate people on their jobs, it is suggested to give much importance on those job content factors such as opportunities for personal growth, recognition, responsibility and achievement. These are the characteristics that people find intrinsically rewarding. Herzberg model sensitizes that merely treating the employees well through the good company policies is not sufficient to motivate them. Managers should utilize the skills, abilities and talents of people at the work through effective job designing. In other words, the work given to the employees should be challenging and exciting and offering them a sense of achievement, recognition and growth. Unless these characteristics are present in the job, employees will not be motivated. In Herzberg framework, these managerial reactions have focused primarily on hygiene factors surrounding the job, which has resulted in bringing individual to the theoretical 0 point of motivation. The two factor theory would predict that improvements in motivation would only appear when managerial action is focused not only the factors surrounding the job, but on the inherent factors in the job. Now, let us see how employees can express dissatisfaction. Dissatisfied employees are more likely to miss the work, but the correlation is moderate. However, dissatisfied employees are also more likely to quit their jobs, and the correlation is stronger than what we found in absenteeism. However, a person's general disposition towards the life moderates the job satisfaction turnover relationship. Some individuals gripe more than others. Such individuals, when dissatisfied with their jobs, are less likely to quit than those who are more positively disposed towards the life. So, if two employees are equally dissatisfied, the one most likely to quit is the one with the highest predisposition to be happy or satisfied with life in general. Likely these individuals do not feel trapped and are willing to exert more control over the situation and look for another job. The evidence suggests that employees express dissatisfaction in number of ways. For example, rather than quit, employees can complain, be insubordinate, steal organizational property, or avoid some of their work responsibilities. 4 types of behaviors result. First is exit, actively attempting to leave the organization, including looking for a new position as well as resigning. This is a destructive action from the point of view of the organization. Next is voice, actively and constructively trying to improve the conditions, including suggesting improvements, discussing problems with superiors, and some forms of union activity. Next is loyalty, passively but optimistically waiting for conditions to improve, including speaking up for the organization in the face of external criticism and trusting the organization and its management to do the right thing. Next is neglect, passively allowing conditions to worsen, including chronic absenteeism or lateness, reduced effort and increased error rate. Exit and neglect behaviors encompass our performance variables such as productivity, absenteeism and turnover. But this list expands employee responses to include voice and loyalty, constructive behaviors that allow individuals to tolerate unpleasant situations or to revive satisfactory working conditions. It helps us to understand situations such as those sometimes found among unionized employees, where low job satisfaction is coupled with low turnover. Union members often express dissatisfaction through the grievance procedure or through formal contract negotiations. These voice mechanisms allow the union members to continue in their jobs while convincing themselves that they are acting to improve the situation. Now, let us see one argument: managers create job satisfaction. A review of the evidence has identified 4 factors conducive to high levels of employee job satisfaction. They are mentally challenging work, equitable rewards, supportive working conditions and supportive colleagues. It is important to note here that each of these factors is controllable by management. Mentally challenging work. People prefer jobs that give them opportunities to use their skills, freedom of creativity and abilities, and offer a variety of tasks, freedom and feedback on how well they are doing. These characteristics make work mentally challenging. Next is equitable rewards. Employees want pay systems and promotion policies that they perceive as unambiguous and in line with their expectations. When pay is seen as fair based on job demands, individual skill level and pay standards, the satisfaction is likely to result. Similarly, employees seek fair promotion policies and practices. Promotions provide the opportunities for personal growth, more responsibilities and increased social status. Individuals who perceive that promotion decisions are made in fair manner, therefore, are likely to experience satisfaction from their jobs. Next is supportive working conditions. Employees want work environments that support personal comfort and good job performance. Studies demonstrate that employees prefer physical surroundings that are not dangerous or uncomfortable. Most employees also prefer working relatively close to home and in clean, relatively modern facilities and with adequate tools and equipment. Next is supportive colleagues. People get more out of work than merely money or tangible achievements. For most employees, work also fills the need for social interaction. Not surprisingly, having friends and supportive co-workers leads to increased job satisfaction. The behavior of an employee's manager is also a major determinant of satisfaction. Studies generally find that employee satisfaction increases when the immediate supervisor is having a good understanding and friendly nature, offers praise for good performance, listens to employees' opinions and shows a personal interest in them. Now, let us see comparison of Maslow's need hierarchy theory and two-factor theory of Herzberg. On comparing both the studies, certain similarity has been noticed. Maintenance factors propagated by Herzberg are identical to lower level needs of Maslow. Higher level needs in the hierarchy of needs are identical to motivation factors suggested by Herzberg. Division of esteem need in two parts has become necessary. Advancement and recognition are considered to be motivational factors, while achievement, work itself, possibility of growth and responsibility could be clubbed along with Maslow's lower level needs. Maslow has achieved universality in this progressive research. Any unsatisfied need as per Maslow is a motivator, irrespective of whether it is higher or lower order. Herzberg could not achieve the same. There is still a difference of opinion regarding hygiene factors which fails to motivate. It has been observed that people get motivated when they achieve a feeling of being worth, accomplishment and recognition for the good work done. Over a period of time, the needs, demands and expectation of employees have been increased. They achieve greater satisfaction if there is a sense of freedom in workplace which relates to authority. Young managers serve those organizations which accord them two things. One is opportunity for personal growth and second is development and opportunity to achieve fast promotions. Prestige of organizations outside the society is also a factor which is referred to by employees. They feel satisfied by virtue of being a part of an organization which is widely recognized world over, for example, like Microsoft or Tata organizations. Pay, allowances, job security, especially for old managers and perks that is being offered by the organizations promote motivational level of employees. They therefore dedicate themselves to achieving organizational objectives. These factors are applicable for high motivational level of various employees in organization. However, for managerial class, it has been seen that autonomy, higher responsibility, promotion and growth opportunities are important and favored for motivation. Manager must therefore create favorable conditions and environment in the organization to enable employees to fulfill their aspirations and expectations so that the individual objectives are achieved and would lead to achievement of higher organizational goals. Now, let us see its a counter argument is satisfaction is individually determined. The notion that managers and organizations can control the level of employee job satisfaction is inherently attractive. It fits nicely with the view that managers directly influence organizational processes and outcomes. Unfortunately, there is a growing body of evidence challenging the notion that managers control the factors that influence employee job satisfaction. Contemporary research indicates that employee job satisfaction is largely genetically determined. Whether people are happy or not is essentially determined by their gene structure. You either have happy genes or you do not. Approximately 80% of people's differences in happiness or subjective well-being has been found to be attributable to their different genes. Analysis of satisfaction data for a selected sample of individuals over a 50-year period found that individual results were consistently stable over time even when these people changed employers and occupations. This and other research suggests that an individual's disposition towards life, positive or negative, is established by his or her genetic makeup, holds over time and carries over into his or her disposition towards work. Given these findings, there is probably little scope to say that managers can do something substantial to influence employee satisfaction. In spite of the fact that managers and organizations go to extensive lengths to try to improve employee job satisfaction through manipulating job characteristics, working conditions and rewards, these actions are likely to have little effect. The only place where managers will have significant influence is through their control of the selection process. If managers want satisfied employees, they need to make sure their selection process screens out the negative, troublemaking and fault finders who derive little satisfaction in anything job related. This is probably best achieved through personality testing, in-depth interviewing and careful checking of applicants' previous work records. Now, let us see what is improved motivation. Managers understanding that factors which demotivate can often be related to matters other than the work itself can lead to improved motivation, greater job satisfaction and improved organizational performance by the entire workforce. Understanding individuals' goals coupled with wider skills and abilities can lead to greater opportunities. Individuals are seen as valuable to organizations and can acquire new skills useful in future. Improving skills, opportunities and increasing employee knowledge will in the longer term increase the value of an organization's human assets. Most importantly, it can lead to greater staff commitment, understanding and loyalty. Now, let us sum up the session. Hygiene factors must be met if a person is not to be dissatisfied. However, they will not lead to satisfaction. Motivators lead to satisfaction. The popularity of giving employees greater responsibility for planning and controlling their work can be said as effective measures to observe the motivation. It shows that more than one need may operate at the same time. It is not really a theory of motivation. It assumes a link between satisfaction and productivity that was not measured or demonstrated. Understanding Herzberg's theory recognizes the intrinsic satisfaction that can be obtained from the work itself. It draws attention to job design and make managers aware that problems of motivation may not necessarily be directly associated with the work. Problems can often be external to the job. Thank you.